And coming up on Mountain News this morning, a lack of funding causes an Eastern Kentucky organization to pull out of flood relief efforts for the time being. And we hear from a garden expert who gives some advice to people who want to put their green thumb to good use as the weather warms up.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
6:34 here. I'm Dakota Makris. It's Tuesday. Good morning. And I just read something about when the weather warms up. And Cameron, I think you said warms up when or something like that.
Warms up where?
Yeah,
it's 36 in Moorhead this morning. It's chilly out there. And also, Dakota, it's Tuesday, but it's my Friday. So we're just in a good mood this morning. We're just having a great time.
I wish it was my Friday.
Well, it's not. So.
Actually, I don't wish it was my Friday. I take that back.
Why?
We'll get there.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, this morning it is chilly out there. It's, you know, we should be in the 40s, but we're in the 30s, so we're a little bit cool out there. We had 60s yesterday evening, but we're going to be in the 50s today, so about 10 degrees cooler on your Tuesday. Here's a live look right now over at I-64 in Moorhead, 36 degrees at this hour. Traffic running smoothly on the interstate as well, and most of us waking up in the upper 30s and lower 40s, but check out Irvin, 32 degrees. We are sitting at freezing at this hour over at Irvin, 39 in Pulaski County, 41 for London, 41 also in Manchester, and 45 over at Grundy. The good news, we are dry on radar this morning, and that will continue as you step out the door as well, but we are watching out for possibly some pop-up showers by this evening. That full forecast coming up in just a little bit. Dakota?
All right, Cameron, thank you. Southern Kentucky deputies say they have found the body of a man reported missing. Last week, the Laurel County Sheriff's Office began searching for 35-year-old Joshua Hagel after he was reportedly last seen on St. Patrick's Day. But on Saturday, he was found dead inside of a car off of West Line Creek Road. That's about 7 miles outside of London. Someone passing by found him. His body was sent to Frankfort for an autopsy. Deputies do not believe his death is suspicious. A bill created after the death of a UK student amid a hazing incident is now law. Governor Andy Beshear signed Senate Bill 9 on Monday, also known as Lofton's Law. The measure was named after Lofton Hazelwood, who died in October of 2021. He was found unresponsive at the farmhouse fraternity. His cause of death was listed as alcohol toxicity. Senate Bill 9 will make hazing that leads to death or serious physical injury a felony. Reckless participation in hazing can result in a Class A misdemeanor. April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and yesterday, Governor Andy Beshear and advocates took part in a kickoff. The event involved the placing of pinwheels in the front of the state capitol to symbolize the number of children younger than 4 in Kentucky. Well, the governor says it was one of the largest crowds he had ever seen for a kickoff event like this. Part of this year's initiative encourages people to take the Lean on Me pledge.
To be able to allow all our community partners to lean on us when they need help. That's what we're here for. We're here to support all of Kentucky. We're here to support all of Kentucky's children.
The event also included the governor signing several bills that deal with youth and children, including one that clarifies incest and another that states child sex offenders cannot come within 1,000 feet of schools, daycares, or other children's facilities. Well, in the months following last year's devastating flooding, many Eastern Kentucky organizations stepped up to help those impacted. But due to lack of funding, one local nonprofit says it cannot do it anymore. The Breathitt County-based organization Aspire Appalachia has dedicated much of its time to helping flood survivors secure materials needed to rebuild their homes. But now the organization is ending this program for the time being.
We did not anticipate the March 2021 flood, nor did we anticipate the December 2021 tornadoes in western Kentucky, and of course we didn't anticipate the July 2022 flooding until we were living amid it. We're not sure what the future holds in that regard, but as an organization, I believe we have done all we can to show that we are willing to step up during those times.
Although the organization says it is unsure as to whether it will offer flood relief services again in the future, it's glad to have connections with other organizations that can help flood-impacted families when they need assistance. It's officially spring, which means it's time for some to prepare the garden. Our Olivia Calfee talked with a garden expert and learned tips and tricks to help you start a garden of your very own.
When it comes to living a more sustainable lifestyle, Donna Smith says on a sunny day, there's nothing better than gardening.
Oh, I want to get out in the dirt. I want to get outside and dig.
Smith, the former president of the Garden Club of Kentucky, says spring is a great time to start.
The first thing you probably should do is have your soil tested. That way you know if you need to add fertilizers, if you're missing nutrients.
And she says it's not too late if you're wanting to start a garden for the first time.
If you're starting a new garden, you need to get all the weeds and all the grass out of the way and till it up or turn it. If it's a small garden, I like to build it up. You don't have to put a frame around it to make it a raised bed. You can just mound the dirt.
She says mounding the dirt keeps the soil warm on cool nights. She also added when it comes to planting seeds, spring is best for greens.
Lettuce is always exciting. All the little curly lettuces, the colored lettuce, the different greens do well this time of year. It's time to plant peas, and I think that's one of the most exciting things about the spring garden are the snow peas and the snap sugar peas.
She also says that gardening is a great activity for kids and something fun for them to look forward to.
If you have little guys around, to plant a garden with them, let them plant it and see them harvest it, they'll get so excited to pull a carrot out of the ground.
Well, Smith says people need to remember to focus on their greens in the spring and wait to plant tomatoes and other veggies in June. On Monday, the Appalachian Center for the Arts celebrated community and creativity on World Theater Day. The Pikeville venue offers shows, educational opportunities, and more, inviting regional art lovers to the city to see the space as more than just a theater. Executive Director Shannon Daniels says the center is a rare find, providing an experience that many rural communities do not get.
To be able to have an art center that does so much, that does theater and film and brings in comedians and has this robust educational program and with all the music and everything, it's kind of a magical thing right here in Eastern Kentucky.
The venue has an art gallery on its second floor, which will soon become a selfie station experience for visitors.